Chapter 9, Section 4, there's not a book section here, and this is changing units. And it gives us the rate, 1 yard is 36 inches. And we want to know how many square inches are in 1 square yard. Well, we want inches in square yards. So there are 36 inches in 1 square yard, or in 1 yard. But we want square yards. So we want a yard by a yard, or a yard times a yard. So we do a second 36 inches in 1 yard. And now yards times yards is yards squared. And then 36 times 36 is 1,296 square inches. 1,296 square inches in 1 square yard. Well, 1 yard equals 3 feet. And we want to know how many square yards there are in 1 square foot. So I'm going to change this from 1 square yard to 3 square feet. I'm going to say that 1/3 of a yard, so 0.3 yards equals 1 foot. Divided that by 3, divided that by 3 to figure out yards in 1 square foot. And I don't think you're going to have to do that on your assignment. How many square yards there are in 1 square foot? Since we want square foot, we're going to multiply that by itself. Foot times foot is square feet, and 0.3 times 0.3 is 0.9 repeating. So 0.9 repeating square yards in 1 square foot. Example 3, 1 foot equals 12 inches. And we want to know how many square inches there are in 6 square feet. Well, we are going to do 1 foot over 12 inches. So we're going to do that the other way around. 12 inches in 1 foot. 12 inches in 1 foot. And then we want to know how many square inches there are in 6 square feet. And I looked ahead when I started here and I crossed this out. I realized that the 6 square feet was going to be on the top. So I wanted the feet on the bottom, so they canceled out. And then we have 12 times 12 times 6. And we end up with 864 square inches. Example 4, 1 foot equals 12 inches. How many cubic inches are in 5 cubic feet? Notice 2 things. First of all, I started out with that cubic feet. And also we have cubic feet this time. So we need 3 of those fractions written down. 12 inches is 1 foot. Foot on the top, foot on the bottom. 12 inches is 1 foot. Foot on the top, foot on the bottom. And 12 inches is 1 foot. So the cubic feet cancels with those 3. And we have 5 times 12 times 12 times 12. So we end up with 8,640 cubic inches in 5 cubic feet. Since 1 yard equals 3 square feet, how many square feet are there in 1 square yard? So we're back to yards squared. We have 3 feet is 1 yard, and 3 feet is 1 yard. Yards squared, canceled with those. and 3 times 3 is 9 square feet. Example 6, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. How many cubic feet are in 2 cubic miles? So 2 miles cubed. So we have 5,280 feet in a mile. We need 3 of those because we are talking cubic to the 3rd power. This is going to be a big number. Miles cancels. And we have 2 times 5,280 times 5,280 times 5,280. And this becomes 2.94 E11. That means we move our decimal point over 11 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we fill in a bunch of zeros there. And that is how many cubic feet there are in 2 cubic miles. Example 7, I'm going to skip right to the end. We want 9 square centimeters. So we want our centimeters on the bottom. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Centimeters squared cancels with those, or centimeters. And you will have 9 divided by 2.54, and you end up with right about 1.4 square inches, in 9 square centimeters. The back page of our notes. Now we're going to add some numbers and costs in here. Barry's bathroom is 9 by 12 feet. So we're going to start out 9 times 12. His bathroom is 108 square feet. And the tiles are 4 inches on a side. Well, if those tiles are 4 inches on a side, you can fit 3 tiles in 1 foot. So we will have 108 square feet. You have 3 tiles in 1 foot. 3 tiles in 1 foot. Those cancel. And you have 108 times 3 times 3. He needs 972 tiles, and they are 59 cents a piece. So we multiply that by 0.59, and it is right about $573.48 for a tile for his bathroom. Example 9, Cindy needs 210 square yards to carpet her house. Carpet is $1.07 for each square foot. So first of all, I'm going to change this from yards to feet. And there are 3 feet in a yard. And we need to do that twice, because we want square feet. Yards will cancel, and we have 210 times 3 times 3, so that ends up being 1,890 square feet. And then we multiply by $1.07, per each foot, square foot, and it ends up costing $2,022.30. Example 10, Jim is filling his pool with water. The pool contains 7,200 cubic feet of water. It costs $25 for each cubic yard. So we need to convert this. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. And 1 yard is 3 feet. We need to do that 3 times. And then it is $25 for each cubic yard. And you'll see we have our feet that cancels, our yards that cancel. You multiply everything on the top, everything on the bottom, and then divide those. And I ended up with $6,666.67. Billy has a rectangular kitchen that is 8 by 12 feet. So 8 times 12 is 96 square feet. The tiles are 8 inches, so that means 12 divided by 8, there are 1.5 tiles per foot. So 1.5 tiles per foot. And we need to do 2 of those because we're dealing with square feet. Each tile is 35 cents. And we have a bunch of things that cancel. And we can just do 96 times 1.5 times 1.5 times 35 cents. $75.60 to tile that. Next one, Heidi is painting her garage floor. The floor is 14 by 18, so 252 square feet. Her paint can is covering square inches, so we need to do 12 inches is 1 foot. 12 inches is 1 foot. And then since this is square inches, right here the inches are on the top. That means we want that on the bottom. 1 can covers 350 square inches, and it's $7.99 for 1 can. You'll notice the feet cancel, the inches cancel, the cans cancel. We multiply everything on the top and then divide by everything on the bottom, and we end up with $828.40. And the last one, Sarah has 2 countertops. Each one is 18 square feet. So we have 36 square feet of countertop. Tile she is using is 2 inches on a side. So that means there are 6 tiles per foot. And I'm going to do that twice. And each piece of tile costs 56 cents per tile. And we have a bunch of things that cancel. 36 times 6 times 6 times .56 is $725.76 to tile her bathroom countertop.